The Last of Us Factions 2 will be announced with a video teaser trailer on or before September 26th, 2021, in my opinion. Dr. Pooplove here, and in this video, I want to tell you why I have a good feeling that this year's The Last of Us Day will be the day that we finally hear something about Factions 2. And of course, there is a really strong possibility that I'm wrong about this. So what I've done is I've created this loadout right here. Actually, one of the worst loadouts I could think of. And I want to put my money where my mouth is. So if I am wrong, I am going to stream until I get 100 downs using only this loadout in Survivors. And there's pistol auto zoom in this thing. There's a scope full auto. I really don't want to be wrong. Now, first of all, what is The Last of Us Day? Which, if you don't already know, is September 26th, 2021. It's kind of what I'm basing this around. The Last of Us Day was formerly known as Outbreak Day before that word kind of hit a little too close to home. And it's the day in The Last of Us Part 1's story that the cordyceps outbreak actually occurred. And it's also a day annually in the real world where Naughty Dog celebrates The Last of Us mostly by selling merch, shirts and cups and a Last of Us board game. It's also a day that fan expectations for announcements are very, very high. And Naughty Dog often has not delivered. So why then do I think that this year's The Last of Us Day will be different? Well, to explain myself better, I want to take us on a trip to Japan. Well, maybe not that far back. Sorry, Jin. Now, in Japan, there's this special kind of beef, Wagyu beef. Wagyu literally means Japanese cow in Japanese. It's a fattier cut. It's considered luxurious and very expensive. According to this article, a pound can run into 3 digits in price. And A5 Wagyu beef is considered top of the line for this type of beef. All this to say, most people do not get A5 Wagyu beef every day. Rather, they may save it for a special occasion. So you might be saying, Dr. Pooplove, who gives a fuck? What does this have to do with Factions 2? Well, it just so happens that Naughty Dog's co-director of what we all are assuming is Factions 2, Vinit Agarwal, tweeted this tweet saying that he treated himself to A5 Wagyu beef after a particularly great day at work. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Naughty Dog devs work their tail off, and they deserve Wagyu beef or gold-crusted cookies or whatever any day of the week because they have created the games that I've fallen in love with since I was a little kid. And having a particularly great day at work doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really mean that Factions 2 is complete. For all we know, they could have just finished the design of an epic sniper scope that they would place on top of the tactical shotgun in Factions 2. No. What this actually is representative of to me is another good sign. Another good sign amongst many good signs that we have seen over the course of this year, from job postings to tweets from Naughty Dog employees that give good hints that this thing is being worked on. Even as recently as this past weekend, when Uncharted 4's multiplayer servers went down, Naughty Dog playfully responded with some emojis to a joke asking about where The Last of Us 2 multiplayer was. And so the buildup of all these things to me just say, this game is moving along. It doesn't seem to show signs of there being some kind of development hell where everyone hates working on this game or it's, not going according to plan. Things seem to be positive and Naughty Dog seems to be trucking ahead. And so, of course, this doesn't necessarily point us to The Last of Us Day as being a good day for announcing this game as of yet, just because things are good. It could be 2022, 2023, but I have a little bit more. Now, recently I put out a video where I talked about why I think The Last of Us Factions 2 will be announced soon. In that video, I outlined 5 reasons that I think an announcement was incoming. Now, the most potent of which I believe is that Naughty Dog had put a job posting up for a video editor position, someone that would presumably cut trailers for this game. And that position is no longer listed on the website. It's been a couple months since it has. And so I think this video editor has been hired and has worked on and potentially completed already a trailer, which should be ready for an announcement. But one of the big hangups, I think, has always been Big Papa Sony. I'm sure the Naughty Dog devs would love to tell us what they have working and what the progress is, but Big Daddy Sony is all about the money and the figures and controlling the narrative. I'm sure they have NDAs and whatnot in place that are keeping people from talking about this game, and they probably know when they want this game to be announced. But recently, we haven't heard much from Sony, and I think they need to do some things to regenerate some hype. They did not have an E3 or summer showcase as of yet, and the latest kind of news we have is that Horizon 2 and God of War 2, both originally slated for 2021, have been delayed to 2022. These delays just kind of give an opening that Sony, I think, needs to make to gin up some more hype around their console and their ecosystem. Sony should make some more announcements to kind of generate that hype, and especially with the recent Halo Infinite tech preview, Sony could really benefit by countering that by entering the multiplayer conversation in a serious way with a Factions 2 announcement. The original Factions was, of course, underrated, but if anyone can compete against the big dogs, it's Naughty Dog. So, to me, the timing of this is perfect. But there is one kicker, and that is that for the past 2 years, Naughty Dog has had to issue statements, either formally or cryptically, about Factions 2 on or around The Last of Us Day. In 2019, of course, after getting news that multiplayer would not be a part of The Last of Us Part 2, Naughty Dog issued this statement to reassure multiplayer fans. And of course, last year in 2020, when people were expecting a Factions 2 announcement and we didn't receive anything, Neil Druckmann himself issued this cryptic tweet, also kind of reassuring fans that they need to be a bit patient. So I think it would be kind of insane to think that Naughty Dog would go into this year's The Last of Us Day not knowing that this is going to happen. The fans of Factions 2 are going to ask about Factions 2. Naughty Dog knows that people are expecting something, and because they've been pressured to say something for the past 2 years, you would think that they would be trying to get ahead of this and really say something to acknowledge Factions 2 and acknowledge the fans that have been waiting to finally hear something. And I don't think that just a wink and a nudge will really be enough this year to keep the fans happy. Personally, I just can't imagine a reality where this doesn't get acknowledged. And the timing of everything just kind of seems too perfect, with Sony needing to announce something soon, with a video editor position being filled and having enough time, I would think, to cut a trailer, with the fact that Naughty Dog has a history of having to issue statements on The Last of Us Day, and a little Wagyu beef. I think this all gives me a good feeling that this year's The Last of Us Day might be different. And of course, if I'm wrong, I'll see you in Survivors, and it's not gonna be fun. But let me know what you all think. Do you think this year's Last of Us Day will be the day? Let me know in the comments. But otherwise, so long, Pooper Troopers.